potentially with a late Huskar pick. But the question is, where is this Huskar going, Avery?
Mid. It was always going to go mid. You pick Huskar versus Ember, you put him versus the Ember. It's that simple. Lanes be damned.
We're going to see what poor Analog is going to do about this. We've seen a lot of people try and deal this. They have to cut the wave between the tier 1-2 and go and drag it, but they're pretty good roaming heroes on the side of Falcons from their 4 and 5 position to punish that. So I just don't see...
Oh, wave kill top.
I think he's got to do nothing but just deal with it.
100% of the CS. Oh, he missed one. That's actually pretty bad because you don't get the level 2 now. That's a big deny.
Yep.
But it will start off this lane pretty favorably for them. I like Heroic's draft. This Lifestealer just doesn't lose, apparently. They have Omega Darkseer team fight. Every hero has synergy with this Darkseer.
That's true.
Really can't ask for more out of a Darkseer lineup. Yeah, maybe your lanes are a little rough, but the team fights look super easy here if you get anywhere close to even footing at that 20-minute mark.
And Falcons has not been... there was a time, a year ago where Falcons would just win lanes so hard that they would just automatically snowball and win the game off of that. I'm not sure if Falcons have shown that same propensity for that,
Lately, no. I think ATF will win his lane, but the question is, will Falcons win lanes hard enough here that that inevitable team fight advantage doesn't come back to hurt them and swing the game back to their favor?
What was that?
I don't know. Check mark for me, I guess.
Good job, Avery. You said something they agreed with.
I guess, yeah. The irony is, I decided I wanted to be a caster, so I didn't end up on camera so much. So, yeah, I guess I got that going for me.
Yeah, and you did DreamLeague.
Yeah. Anyway, this is a very interesting game from a draft standpoint because I do feel like both teams kind of went all in. I think Falcons went not all in, but 80% in on we want our lanes to be strong and have some good core matchups. And Heroic went all in on we don't give a damn about the lanes. We are just going to have insurmountable 5-man team fight. And so far, I think that has prevailed in the patch.
Yes, I would agree with that. Though they are on Radiant side. Which is a little bit of marker, right? If you are Dire side and you are more laning focused, then I think you're more likely to get the first Tormentor because you probably have the lead at 15 minutes. You're probably stronger at 15 minutes than the enemy team. And then you combine a laning phase lead into a Tormentor lead because it gives you so much, then I could see how that snowballs really badly.
I mean, already we see Heroic just trying to dodge all these lanes as much as possible. Mid is getting pulled around by Analog super weirdly. Top is being wave pulled and cut. Bottom is kind of the only straight up lane in this game right now. Battle
fighting over the Lotus. Whisper's not going to be able to get this for free. Vacuums him out of it, gets the Lotus. He doesn't eat it. He probably would have died anyway, so he holds on to that resource for the future.
I feel like one of the strengths of Darkseer in this patch should be fighting for that Lotus. Like, double melee hero with Shell, you have to go into the pool.
Yeah.
In theory, should be good for him. So, instance there where Whisper just doesn't win the fight.
At the same time, Mirana is probably one of the ranged heroes that is able to battle for the Lotus really well as well because of this new facet, right? The Starstorm causing you to miss.
Yeah, this is a really nice mana facet. To me, this facet wouldn't be that broken if it didn't have as long a duration as it did.
Yeah.
I feel like for a new spell or mechanic to a hero, this thing has an insanely long duration. What is it? It's 3.5 to 5. 5-second blind? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Usually Valve adds some spell. They're like, oh, okay, here's Shadow Shaman gets +3 damage. This hero just gets a 4-second blind at level 2.
Yeah. I think it would also be different if Miranas were incentivized to level up an ability that wasn't Starstorm, but everybody maxes out Starstorm, so...
Yes, makes your value point arrow better, makes your value point and leap better. Really helps that build up. Though the value point in arrow has been nerfed over time, so... I think we've seen some situations actually where the max stun level 1 on arrow is not enough anymore in some of the fights.
Yep, for sure.
It did not used to, I mean, it's crazy to think that used to just be 5 level 1.
Yeah. I think we saw that situation yesterday, right?
Yep. So that's something you have to think about with this build. There's a little bit of a trade-off there, but so far it is Falcons dominating this laning stage.
2K up in 5 minutes?
Yeah. Heroic are dodging 2 lanes and not doing well in the 3rd, so it's a triple lane win here for Falcons, and this is going to be the test for Heroic. Can you find a way to come back in the team fights? They have the lineup to do it. Just going to be finding those openings or getting some ganks going. You have an Ion Shell Spear Breaker who can charge around the map.
He opted for the Bull Rush facet, not the Bull's Hit one. Kind of sad.
This facet's still pretty good. Can't blame him for that. Charge up top of the King Jungle's rotation. They want the Phantom Assassin. Will they get the Phantom Assassin?
It's going to be a 3-on-3 with Snake King slipping down on the other side. They do get the Phantom Assassin core for core, but a second core is going to join the field on the side of Heroic. Run down crit. And I guess that is the difference here between Huskar, less likely to make that rotation, just wants to dominate that mid. Analog, he's suffering so badly in that mid lane, why not rotate?
That was an arrow attempt to kill this catapult. They got body blocked. They'll then glyph it, and catapult will die. So extra tower damage on this tier 1. They get that PA kill, and Analog gets some XP. So overall, nice move for Heroic.
He checked for the bounty run. Timing changed, though.
ATF, however, doing ATF stuff mid. I mean, he's got a Mega Wave here. Armlet is very close to being done, 500 off. I mean, he's going to be incredibly strong this game.
Yeah, Heroic, you should not think that you can go for this Huskar kill with multiple heroes. Falcons are willing to back him up, and they're going to go for the kill on Analog here with the level 6 on Amar. Toss him back into his death, as the fire will easily burn him out. And good damage on the mid tower as well. Now, not enough to finish it up, and this charge might actually hit Snake King. Schofield doesn't even try and go for the first hit bash.
Does defend the tower, but you're just feeding more gold into this Huskar's pocket. He's already the richest hero on the map. Falcons happy about that one, as the Wisdom Shrines will get split. 0 contest.
Yeah, that's... we've seen a lot of contests lately. We saw it in the previous patch too, but now with these new shrines, even more incentive to do so, I think.
Honestly, I would not be surprised if we see more of this offlane DP. Not necessarily because of how strong DP is, but I have to imagine in this type of game from Dire, if you just Exorcism take this tower, it's got to set you up pretty well for Tormentor at 15.
For sure.
And then this hero is a strong Tormentor taker, right? So it kind of just flows naturally. It's a good Roshan taker. Roshans have been contested a lot. I can just see Death Prophet make come back just conceptually as a hero, on top of the fact she's probably better than she was last patch.
Yeah, she's a great hero to work with, Marcy. King Jungle's trying to use that Ice Path facet to disengage. Does not work. Sumail did take the facet that got buffed up recently. Nobody was really taking Spirit Collector before, though then again, nobody was really playing Death Prophet before. They buffed that up rather significantly in this last patch, and we're going to see Sumail put it to use. You see the hero spirits he's already got out.
It's a decent amount of extra damage.
Yeah, yeah.
They look really weird. I don't know why. They look so janky, but...
Yeah, it's an extra 24. Apparently it has a minimum damage and a maximum damage. Why?
I mean, the way I think about it is,
case?
if you have enough to replace all the ghosts, it's like a 30 to 40% damage upgrade, depending. I would generally, so basically on average, it's probably gonna be like a 20 to 30, because you're not gonna always have full amount of ghosts.
Sure.
But that's still decent. You know what they look like, though? They look like those little... you can buy for Halloween, the little ghosts on strings or skeletons that spin around in a circle? They're like little motorized things. You have no idea what I'm talking about?
No. Are you still talking about the images that they when they spin the fast
like a
enough,
physical
it looks
thing.
like... No, then I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, you used to turn them on, then you try and whack each other with them. They're like mini flails. Those things hurt, man.
I definitely
I got hit in the head a few times.
Talking about.
Now that I think back on it, that could explain a lot.
Yeah, it does explain a few things.
Yeah, that was like a brick in a sock, man.
What is this item?
What, brick in a sock?
I'm going to have to look this up later.
You ever played brick in a sock? What kind of childhood did you have?
Apparently one without brain damage.
That's all there is. That's half the fun. Safe lane tower does go down. That DP ult did its job. Looks like Gleipnir potentially on the menu for Sumail. As regen rune goes to analog. Tier 1 mid is still up for both teams. Maybe think about that with the next Exo here if you're Falcons. Like smoke this DP mid, player on the Huskar, get a backstab fight into tower going. That could be pretty good.
Try and evade the triangle. The only thing that the Infest is going to do is steal one of the small ancients. So that was a lot of wasted time for Yuma. While Lamar just moves to another side of the map to continue farming. They are going to make a go at the supports here, though.
They stack the
pick me up and drag me away. What a save from Crit.
That was a lot of stun stacking. Maybe they're just trying to burst him, but that's a level 6 Mirana with 1100 HP.
And another tower to be taken. Got him. Drag the creep with him, too. And King Jungle's
he smoked
attempting to hold this tower, but the exorcism is still going to be used by Sumail. If he can win this fight, he will easily take the tower. And it looks like Whisper, he's at least going to be taking so much damage. He can't find any more. That final ghost does the work required to get the kill. And Schofield, he'll be run down as well. This Death Prophet, it's working out really well. They won that lane. Yeah. They're turning it into not just team fight wins, but also objective wins. And we haven't even gotten to the Tormentor timing yet.
I mean, Whisper took 1,350 damage from DP. That is a lot of damage to take at the 11-minute mark from one hero.
Yeah.
You ought to respect this Exo. And that's the exact move I was mentioning right before it happened. Heroic kind of played into it. They went on the offensive in the mid lane and set themselves up for a strong counterplay. Here's a live replay of the live replay. New feature we're adding here. I think, if anything, in this kind of game, you almost want to play defensive. Like, predict the move Falcons are going to make, set up for it, and then when they do it, you're there with everybody, you punish them. Because when you go aggressively like that, it's unlikely it's going to work out, unless you're just ganking a hero.
Either that or you just sacrifice the mid tower and put pressure on the sidelines, right?
That's also, yeah, that's totally fine if you're farming the whole map. Just give the tower. Okay, sure. Instead, you bleed a bunch of kills on top of the tower, and that's omega bad. You know, every time this DP gets kills with the Exo, you're getting spirits for the next Exo.
Yep, it's a snowball effect.
Do not want to fall behind in terms of XP this game either. I also want to see what Skeeter goes on this Phantom Assassin, because we've been seeing Phantom Assassin fall off a bit. We've seen Lifestealer just out-carry in some of these matches, but I have a feeling you're supposed to go a higher DPS build in this hero now relative to last patch. Play her more glass cannony and have frontliners in your lineup instead of just being a stats damage dealer.
Sure.
Because I've seen this Satanic Sanjin Yasha build, and I'm just not 100% sold that it's good enough.
What a move. Crit. He drags Amar on top of the Lifestealer. Yuma's not quick enough. And they chain that into silence. Yuma's dead. I mean, this is looking like Falcon's just going to run over Heroic.
Yeah, this is getting to spooky territory, I will say.
Like the ghosts you were talking about.
Like earlier. The brick in a sock. That's like that's exactly right, Austin.
Very spooky.
You know, you can bend, but at some point you will break in this game. You do not want to give up too much more here if you're Heroic. Your team fight's still strong in a 5-on-5. And you do have the ice path levels on King Jungle. So, question of how much you bleed out right now.
King Jungles is really playing for the Tormentor. This has to be one of the oddest wards I've ever seen. In the bottom right corner of the map. Click on that one.
This is just...
We see the vision there. Yeah.
That's
just a singular cone.
That is just unnecessary. You know, I've seen a lot of really weird...
I also think he's going to try and hide out in the trees and wait for them to try and do Tormentor, but he's so far ahead of schedule here.
I mean, if I'm Heroic, I almost want to just set up there preemptively.
I agree.
So when Falcons try and go in, you're just there with everybody and you fight them, you know?
Yes, I agree. Setting it up 2 minutes beforehand, though, it's a little early. And now we're finally getting to that Tormentor timing.
I mean, this could be really good for Heroic if they're patient here. Yeah, I think if they just start doing the Tormentor, it's going to be really bad for them. But if they just camp here for the fight, this is what their lineup is designed to do. Take some fight where Falcons clump or go through a choke point and just massacre them with back wall, charge, ice path.
I just don't think this is very well disguised. Snaking has pushed the mid tower all the way into the tier 2.
I mean, but if you're Falcons, do you have a choice, right? This Tormentor is the end-all be-all. You have to take it, Austin. You have to go up the ramp.
Sumail's going to break his smoke on the low ground. He pushes forward anyway. They're going to try and burst him down nice and quick, and they should be able to do so. Sumail only can get so much heal off. Oh, God, he's surviving for so long. Yeah, he eventually dies, but maybe Falcon Tamar, he's getting low as well. Oh, he managed to get an armlet toggle in the middle of all these heroes. He still falls. Heroic were ever patient in their defense and were rewarded with a massive win on the high ground.
Still on the losing Yuma, so now they can't really do the Tormentor. Well, they're going to get a 4th.
Yeah, getting 4 for this.
Ooh. That feels a lot better. I mean, I'm kind of surprised Falcons did that without seeing anybody on the map.
Your smoke broke on the low ground. Like,
the issue is, even though you're this far ahead, I don't think you can win that fight. Like, I don't think there is a route to victory here. They even played it okay with sending one hero up. I mean, you might say, like, what is Sumail doing? But there's no way you can all go up at the same time, right? But even with that, how the hell are you going up this stairwell, dude?
Yeah.
Into macro ice path through the wall. There's 3 wall illusions. You're getting slowed. That's just a complete nightmare of a fight.
I feel like they have scouting mechanisms, too. Or at least they have one. They have arrow.
I genuinely think Falcons should just farm the map and given it up.
Sure, I mean...
let Heroic sit there, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get more gold off the map than they're going to get out of that Tormentor. But instead, you lose a bad fight that is the way Heroic can win this game, is if they get comeback fights. You're still going to end up getting the Tormentor here, so I guess maybe your argument is, in the end, it'll work out?
I mean, the Sliver of Vision has given enough for the Spirit Breaker to get a charge, so...
That's true. I mean, I guess Heroic are going to take another fight around here, because in theory, it's still good for them. The ward is scouting.
Gonna pop the Moonlight Shadow, but they get the Tormentor, yes, but they're gonna be so low off of this one.
Oh,
and that heal is not good enough. If they cut him off here at the pass.
Dude, if Heroic just commit for this play.
Oh, they have the scan on him too. They know they're walking through this area.
Skier just TP'd out. I mean, he TP'd
Extra's
out.
gonna be popped by Sumail. Managed to get a 2-man silence. Analog's quickly gonna remove that one with the Illusion Room. Crit goes straight for the kill onto Whisper. Whisper, he needs to survive to get off spells, but a good arrow from Snake King puts him down before anything can really go off. This makes things messy for Heroic. He's still up Yuma on the front lines here with the open wounds. He's gonna focus on the Huskar and get him. Now Sumail's up next. He should be able to run him down as well. The loss of their carry, or rather, their carry TPing out. There's no way to win this fight.
For Heroic, I mean, it could have been even better if this Darkseer didn't get God arrowed from Snaking, but
seriously,
you got to question the decision there from Falcon. Skeeter TP'd out as Sumail pops Exo. So are you taking a team fight? Are you not? If you have PA there, I think you have a decent shot to win that. Instead, you bleed out some more kills and give these Heroic cores another chance to come back in this game. I don't know. I feel like Falcons are not respecting these 5-on-5s because they feel like they're way ahead, which is true.
That is true.
But I don't think their lineup has to take these 5-on-5s. I don't think it necessarily wants to. You know?
Yeah, at least, you know, not until you have like SNY, BKB, Huskar.
Well, if you have BKBs, yeah, that's your ticket in. Because then you can just man up and ignore a lot of the spell control. But
these early fights
they're so tough, man. You look at the amount of work these ice paths are doing. The ion shells. That's a tough one.
Well, this is Heroic. I think this is one of their successes, that they are very good at 5-manning. They're very good at planning out team fights.
When they're all on the same page, yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Not a team that I think of for their laning prowess so much. But for their moves immediately after the laning phase, and so far that has been rather successful despite the net worth lead that they were playing against. Now we're back to a bit of farm.
Heroic keeping the net worth the same, which means they're evening this game out a bit. I haven't really been able to play their lineup to full fruition, but... Oh, Atos.
Nice arrow. Tanking. Keeps on landing them.
Marana God for a reason.
Yeah, who do you learn that Marana play from, anyway?
I don't know. Good question. Have to ask him in an interview.
Okay. After a pickoff on the Ember Spirit, a haste rune found in the river leads more opportunities for Falcons. Mar aggressively pushing forward. He has Glimmer Cape, Armlet, S and Y. He is very difficult to bring down. With that Glimmer Cape, he's going to try and find an opening. Spots Whisper, catches him midway through his surge, and with a little bit of pushback, Whisper does take a lot of damage, but Amar opts not to keep chasing.
Old sick ice path from KJ on the Blinken.
Brought back into the vacuum, too. Crit is already dead. Skeeter's going to use his BKB to get out. Again, a bit of a disjoint there between what the Falcon members want to do. Arrow to stop the Spirit Breaker ultimate, but he didn't want to go for it anyway. Not sure if they want to go on Amar or not, but pop out, Infest, got a disarm onto the Huskar. He's trying to run it out here. See if he can armlet toggle a second time. Nope. Too many heroes.
Yeah, very disjointed. The fact that KJ got that ice path off changed everything there. It was a very sick read of the situation. Skeeter commits, gets trapped there for so long. That's a level 4 ice path.
I mean, why are they going for that behind the tier 2 at the same time that Huskar is chasing after the Darks here and then chooses to back off with the haste rune?
I think they probably felt the attention of Heroic was on that Huskar play. They would get away with the quick pick. You're gonna bleed another support kill here?
Schofield with the surge and the Ion
Any
Shell.
bash? Hello?
He doesn't need it.
Yeah, well, I guess he didn't because he didn't get one.
Save those bashes for later.
He has a full Shadow Blade now. Falcons are bleeding a lot of team fights in this game.
A big part of why Falcons has just not been the dominant force that they were last year. Just not nearly as clean play. Now, obviously, some of this could be attributed to the fact that they do have the stand-in and Samael playing with them, but
yeah, hurts for team
I
fights
think there's still been problems with Falcons even when they've had all 5.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Nice catch on the Spirit Breaker. No charge to get away for 8 seconds. Detection, Snaking's got it.
All right, so Yule's done for Sumail, gives him his defensive item. Should give you a lot more staying power in the fight. But I think you need that Huskar BKB for ATF to really help the PA go over the top here. I think if Heroic gets some armor items here, some more survivability before the next team fight, they could be in a solid position. It's a bit of a ways away, though. Like, the Shivas on the Embers, pretty damn far away.
Yeah, I mean, he could at least buy out the plate mail. That would be a big buff, and they almost have Armlet done on the Lifestealer. There's another one. Hell, I mean, Whisper could buy out the plate mail as the Lotus he wants to build up, but instead he opts for the Perseverance. I really feel like with the attention on Roshan right now,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
stacking up that armor to give them the edge for this one fight could be big.
Yeah, everybody armor is going to count. I mean, you're basically dealing with an entirely physical lineup on Falcons in terms of the damage you care about. Yeah, there's some Burning Spear and some Siphons and stuff, but the damage you're trying to survive is that burst damage.
Yeah. It's the Marcy Unleash, it's the PA jumping on you, it's the Exorcism. We can see Samael's pumping out the most damage so far in the game.
I mean, even if you just look at the neutral items, all the neutral items for Heroic are just survivability. Their Essence Rings, their Gossamer Capes, their Brawny Enchantments. All the neutral items for Falcons, Brigand Blade. Deal the damage.
That's a lot of them.
You know, we need more damage. So, what is stronger, Austin? The knife or the bulletproof vest?
Radiant are scanning.
From all the videos I've seen online, apparently the bulletproof vest. But do Heroic have that vest? Or are we just going to be waiting for a while? As both teams farm up. BKB for Skeeter is a long ways. It's been done for a long ways, but the Huskar BKB is still a bit farther out.
Same time, you actually are gonna have the Shivas on the Ember. I think by the time the next fight breaks out, the analog got to it here in a 50-50 game. Do you agree with that? In your professional opinion, Mr. Walsh?
Yeah, I think that's about fair.
Okay.
I think I would actually side with Falcons just a little bit more, but that's just because I feel like Huskar scales up pretty decently, and then obviously they have PA, Marcy. Like, even if the chance of them winning fights right now is 50-50, I don't hate Falcons' lineup going later.
I just don't see Lifestealer lose. I don't know, man. Something about this hero right now.
One thing for me is that they will eventually have a taunt for the Lifestealer.
Man, don't care about a taunt. He just hits you.
Maybe, but it pierces rage, which is pretty beneficial.
Shiva's done for the Ember. I think it's the strongest item that anyone's got here in the last few minutes. And there was not a fight before that. Falcons got a decent amount of utility and survivability. Bunch of Glimmer Capes and Yules now available.
And with Roshan being on the top part of the map, that is favorable for Heroic, who control this side of the map a bit more than the other.
Arrow scouted it. I believe saw them going in the pit. Yeah, do Falcons want to give this up? I feel pretty bad for them to lose this Aegis with a Huskar lineup.
The way Amar is farming, it seems like they're okay with giving it up.
Another arrow.
It's running now, but
it's the Jakiro.
Samael willing to go inside that pit. He pops the Exorcism and goes for it. Gleipnir on a bunch of heroes with the silence following up, but the Aegis is already picked up by Yuma. Yes, he did get the last hit on Roshan.
The king.
Heroic, though, I mean, getting away with the Aegis and an Exorcism used and only losing Schofield for it.
Oh, mega worth, mega worth. Bit sad that got sniped by the Cryptstorm, but I mean, what can you do? You play versus the king, he's gonna take his tithe, you know?
He takes what is his.
Smoke from Heroic without the breaker. Trying to contest this Tormentor. I mean, they're nowhere here fast enough, though. This is instantly gone. So late on that play, though, they might be able to gank somebody just retreating from this objective. Skeeter TP's mid. They might just go on him. Man, that's where you wish you had the charge. So they're still hunting for somebody down here.
Samael might back up into them. If it's crit instead, that's good for Falcons because they would hate to lose Samael.
Yeah, this is the better of the options. Expensive smoke from Heroic. Not yielding exactly what they wanted. Takes a minute off this Aegis here. A replay. See this big Cryptstorm. Boom! Wow. I always thought Sumail had one of the sickest Roshan senses of any player ever. Maybe the sickest sense. Like this guy has, I feel like he's jumped Rosh on Storm at the exact right time. So many pivotal moments.
Yeah, that's a good stat. Somebody should get these stats on Aegis steals.
I think he's number one.
Samael has got to be up there. Snaking charged up right now. Yule Scepter on himself. Amar's going to fight for this, though. He is right in the middle of all these heroes. Silent on 3. And an entry into the fight onto the Ember Spirit that's going to force him to back off. Now, that wasn't an infested charge at the same time, so they're kind of split, or maybe they're sandwiching Amar. But he does have that at Aegis after all on the Lifestealer, so he's willing to just battle it out, whether it's going for Samael or Amar. He doesn't really care which one it is, as long as he can hit something out of this one. A Yule Scepter to stop him a little bit, but Schofield bumps back in and manages to finish him off. Skeeter, meanwhile, he delivers a killing blow onto Analog, goes for more. Schofield's up next, but eventually his staying power, it wanes thin, and now Yuma, he'll carry out the rest of the team fight, as has been the way for DreamLeague, and this new patch, the Lifestealer, continues to just push through it all.
This hero's just crazy. When you start winning fights, you get these kills, and the bonus HP just starts to go up and up so fast with the level 4, right? 50 HP for every hero is a lot. Cannot bleed these kind of team fights. That's what I'm talking about, man. Like, it doesn't seem like anybody can address Lifestealer in this patch in the fights. This wasn't even the greatest execution for Heroic because the vacuum got wasted, which is their strongest spell, I think.
Sure.
The fight's just so split. Nobody wants to fight him. It's just, what do you do, right? I get he has Aegis here, but he's a brick wall for the team. You look at the formation that Heroic have. No one wants to go through this Lifestealer. It buys so much time for Heroic to re-engage. And KJ, this Jakiro has so much room to work with. It's just ice path after ice path. You're not going to win the long fight. The second your BKB is out, boom, you're stunned. You get stunned again. See you later. Twin-headed dragon. It's like, yeah, that hero's pretty good.
Look at a little buff up.
Yeah, I can come up and play that hero.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
See some forward position Jakiro maybe in the future.
Also, that Shiva's really slowed down the PA's damage in that fight. This is where I go back to. You go for these kind of survivability builds on the PA, and if you can't actually burst a hero that fast, you're not that strong when the BKB is out. This is going to be another BKB Sanjin Yasha Satanic PA. I'm still not 100% sold on this build.
You want to see these PAs go back for like the Deso build?
I mean, I don't know what it is. I've watched enough of these fights by now to know that you do not do the same damage you did before, and 1 or 2 seconds is a huge difference on a hero like Phantom Assassin. So you're here to do damage, and if you're not doing enough, you got to rectify that problem quickly, as Aegis expiring in 9 seconds, infested Breaker, and they found the Death Prophet.
Perfect target to go for. Gleipnir try and stop the charge. It only does so much, though. Immediate pop out from the infest, and that's the real danger.
That's a great pickoff right there. Really nice ward. Look at these Radiant Obs right now. They're seeing a lot of these jungle areas. Dangerous to play this map for Falcons into the Spear Breaker. And that lead that they had from laning phase didn't go anywhere. Now you're trapped in this 5v5 game versus a lineup that is incredibly scary to 5v5 into. Unless you have some BKB timing and you get a lot out of it, which, BKBs are starting to go down right now. You're not opting for the Death Prophet BKB either.
And we haven't even gotten to, I think, one of the hardest counters that Lifestealer has against the PA, the Aghanim Scepter. Right? This PA jumps in, tries to kill somebody. If you can get the disarm.
Yeah, 100%. That X is coming very quickly here for Yuma. Almost done with it.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
There it is. Actually, Lifestealer done. That'll push him to 4k HP. A lot of HP to get through. You got Mischance, you got Armor, you got Infest.
Sumail's going to try and get, and he does have, his own Shivas.
He's also
Dire's bottom
30
tower
XP
is under
off level
attack.
18 here. Would love that 3rd point Exorcism. It's a big one.
Yeah, especially with so many charges. He's got 7 spirits from that facet. So,
Okay, he gets it there. So they are hitting a pretty strong power point in terms of damage output. Satanic done for the PA as well. On top of that, Shiva's on the DP. A lot more survivability here. If they can keep their cores alive, let the spells do the work. Or
charge coming through. All the heroes, they smoked up and they ran straight into a Spirit Breaker. Yuma's going to chase after them here. Using her early rage, though. This feels a little awkward. May need to use the Infest. Lotus Orb on him, though. Amar jumps after him, but he already got off the Infest inside of Whisper. They go for Analog instead. They've got him well locked down for a while. Slight goes up, and he jumped up to the high ground. Huskar gets a bit low off of a charge, and here comes Yuma back into place. He's going to target him, trying to go for a beautiful ice path. Once again, King Jungle turns the tide with the beautiful spell casting.
Dude, this Jakiro is just destroying Falcons in this game. Absolutely destroying them. They don't have target prioritization on him. They have to deal with the cores on the front line. The fights get really chaotic. You forget about them, and then boom. That one ice path lands, you're done. Didn't even take the vacuum. The vacuum wall only hit one hero. And Falcons still can't kill anything.
Starts off so awkward for Heroic, but Yuma, he's able to successfully get off the Infest. They can't finish off Analog.
That was a very good Lotus Orb there to dispel the silence on him.
Yeah.
And nice charges from Schofield. Again, you're just wasting the time.
4 heroes.
I mean, that's just brutal. But the point I go back to is, like, this whole time you're just trying to kill lifesteal, and you can't kill him.
Yeah.
Time and time again, we have seen this. The hero just outlasts you. So I don't know. If you can't kill him, then maybe you should be focusing everybody else instead of him, but it has to be decisive one way or the other. And that was supposed to be Falcons being more survivable in the fight. That was supposed to be a fight where you had the Satanic, you had the Shivas. In theory, you could last a lot longer and keep your HP high. Didn't seem to make a damn difference.
Well, not if you get clumped up for the 2-second ice path stun into how much longer on the bonus?
0.75, I believe. 0.5?
0.5.
It's a 2.5-second stun.
Yeah, 2.5-second stun while you're underneath Macro Pyre the entire time. Roshan free for Heroic as the charge out from Schofield is going to make sure there's no interference from Falcons. He charges right through the middle of them on his way to the bottom lane.
That's annoying here. Yeah, Spirit Breakers, I mean, these supports are a big problem for Falcons. They just don't have the team fight capacity to deal with them. And the thing is, Spirit Breaker is incredibly annoying because you're kind of BKB dependent to win the fight with the cores.
Yeah.
And the second you get charged or nether struck in this BKB duration, 1 or 2 seconds gone, that's all it takes. The fight becomes way easier for Heroic.
And Falcon's gonna need to find some better lockdown for this PA and simultaneously deal with the Spirit Breaker, the charges, the Nether Strike that stop that very small window that PA can win the fight.
I mean, BKB on Yuma, no way you're killing this guy anymore.
I like how he's not even bothering trying to... He's got the Serrated Shiv, which gives him a little bit of True Strike, but he's not even bothering, like, trying to get over the evasion.
No, it doesn't matter. Like, the second Skeeter's BKB is out, he's going to die in the fight. Unless the fight's already lost. You don't have to worry about right-clicking this PA down.
Yeah.
You have to worry about right-clicking this Lifestealer down, that's for sure. You also got a Titanic Shiv, which is
Radiant are scanning.
super nice for this hero, because what is his status resistance is up to 28% right now. Oof. That is a lot to deal with. 25% slow resist, 28% status resist, 500 bonus HP. This hero ain't right, dude. I don't know. What am I looking at?
A tough Pyrrhic Cloak for Analog. Even more survivability on this squad. 10 armor. Add in some brawny Gale Guards.
Nullifier for Skeeter, so that's one way to say, hey, I want to find these supports and bring them down, open up the fight that way. Which, if you can, is a route to victory. You also have Ags on the Huskar, so some extra lockdown. You have 3-second taunt. Schofield lurking under that ward vision. They see him.
Yeah, Schofield has been quite the nuisance. Getting Nullifier on him, they go after him, but the Lifestealer's already here. Oh, the vacuum up to the high ground wall! Beautiful stuff. It is just immediately taking 2 of the Falcons members out of the team fight. The self-fuels of Sumail. He's actually stayed alive for some time. Got off a lot of spirit drains. But Skeeter, his BKB is worn thin. The Aghanim Scepter again from the Lifestealer just being a hard counter to this hero. Amar's not making it back to the base. And Skeeter, well, he may not make it back to the fountain the way Analog's chasing. They just call it there. Falcons give in to Heroic. Despite the lead they got in the first 10 minutes of the game, Heroic just set themselves in and focused on one thing and one thing only, the team fights.
And they were paid. It's a weird bit, man. I don't know if I like this bit.
We have some interesting facets to talk about. Let's get through this real quick. Krill Eater for the Tidehunter. We're going to be seeing that carry Tidehunter, Krill Eater. Just makes this hero weaker early on, which means he's maybe more likely to get run over in his safe lane. We got the new facet in Eternal Empowerment for the Magnus. What'd you think of this one?
I've seen a lot of people say it feels really good to play with. Fear was talking about it where you don't have to use mana to cast Empower on yourself, so it ends up being a lot of extra mana on this hero, and your mana requirements in terms of farming and itemization aren't nearly as heavy. So I think in that sense it's pretty cool. I'm also looking at the...
He's a tiny boy.
You mentioned the Go Nuts on the Hoodwink, right? Like, what can Crit do with this hero? Which facet was he going to go? He opts for just the extra buff duration, cast range, attack range. In theory, this Scurry can be really strong. Like, you have the innate with the redirect chance, then you get even more on all this. You have 2 charges.
Okay.
I don't know, it's a lot.
Yeah, but typically Hoodwink has wanted to level up Acorn Shot and Bushwhack.
So the thing that maybe pushes this over the edge, as thinking he'll die here, is this level 10 talent now too.
Okay.
+1 Scurry charge at level 10.
Yeah.
So in theory, you have 3 charges of this now that all benefit from this facet.
Okay.
That's a lot to play around with in the fights, right?
If you're going to go that, are you maxing out Bushwhack? Are you no longer going to put levels into Acorn Shot?
Yeah, I can see a 144 build.
Okay.
I don't know how good it is, but I can see the logic in it, right?
So we're back to maxing out Bushwhack, which is what originally Hoodwink was doing when she kind of came.
Yeah, I think so.
it.
I could see a Gleipnir 144 build with just insane cast range, bigger AoE, a lot of lockdown. It'd just be a really annoying utility control hero.
Yeah.
I think that other facet's also really interesting with the Sharpshooter. I think this is a hero people are going to have to play with for a while to figure it out. Really hard to tell how good it is on paper alone.
I will say, very surprised that Falcons were willing to give up the Jakiro again. Maybe they feel like it was just a play issue, which there was definitely some play issues there. It wasn't just draft that they needed to correct from game 1, right? I would almost argue that more of it was play issues.
Yes. I think they can win that game, but they have to be really... Maybe patient isn't the right word, but less throwing, you know?
Yeah, a little bit more careful, like
yeah,
the
they have
Tormentor
to
play, which that play shouldn't work again. As well as it worked for Heroic.
Yeah.
Maybe they still successfully managed to take a good Tormentor fight, but...
They just have to respect what their lineup strengths are versus enemies and not just say, hey, we're 7-up in lanes, we can do anything, which I don't think they were necessarily saying that, but can't be thinking that. Also, since when did this facet for Tidehunter change the name over time?
Oh, yeah.
Is that always a thing?
I think it was always a thing because it keeps in term with his voice lines.
Yeah, I think it's awesome, but I never noticed that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
What's the ultimate end one? Have you ever seen it?
One of his final lines is, I could eat a Kraken, right? Something like that. Giant squid eater.
Well, I will enjoy seeing just how big it can get.
Well, question is, are we even going to go that late? Because I do feel like both lineups could snowball heavily. I don't know who's going to end up taking the snowball and building it into this big momentous thing that takes over at 25, 30 minutes. But I do feel like both lineups are capable of doing so. And both lineups have, whether it's some snowballing power or some pushing power, like Heroic, obviously, off the back of their Leshrac. this Leshrac does well enough. He starts taking a lot of these towers off. They take big objectives like the Tormentors and Roshans. Nice skewer back. That is beautiful stuff. Amar, he's going to get a lot of damage returned on Yuma, almost killing him in the process. Does kill him in the process.
Brother.
Damn. 2 for 1. I can't believe they managed to pull that off.
Yeah, he had to back out there way sooner.
Dire's structures are fortified.
I don't know. I'm looking at these lineups, and I do feel like Falcons are going to run into a similar issue in the fights in terms of you have 2 backline supports where if you don't tag either of them, you have 3 melee cores going into Jakiro, Dark Willow.
Yep.
That sounds really miserable.
Now, presumably, they're not going to clump as much as they did in Game 1, right? Because Bristleback typically plays pretty far forward. Earthshaker plays for his timing of when he's going to jump in, right?
Yeah, Shaker can jump backline. Bristle maybe doesn't care about... I mean, Bristle Tide care about the debuffs and the roots and stuff less than the cores they had last game for sure. But you don't have BKB buyers really here, right? Only I think the Shaker will end up with one.
That's true.
So these spells should be good for a long time. You also have RP to play around with. I can see a lot go wrong in the fights again. That's my point here. But I do think Falcons have a way stronger front line at dealing with these kind of annoying spells and could just become too tanky for Heroic to deal with. There's a decent amount of pressure on Analog in this game to be the big damage dealer, at least until the mag comes fully online, especially versus Tidehunter. I think Lesh can be a good matchup versus the Tide. But you kind of have to outpace him a little bit. Yeah. And this is a carry Tide, so he's already up to Anchovy Eater. I mean, who knows?
I do think it's when you're talking about it, if they don't have really the best BKB buyers, do Mage Slayer and Tidehunter make sense, but are they ever going to get a pipe, for example? It's Primal Beast, Jakiro, Leshrac. Feels like a pipe would be very valuable, but at the same time, Amar has gone for the Seeing Red facet, so I assume he is going more of an Aghanim's damage-oriented
Yeah, I don't
build.
think you go pipe with Seeing Red here.
Yeah.
They're looking for the Sumail gank. Root will land. Stun does not.
Got him a Blood Grenade, follow up with the Dual Breath, but Sumail just too tanky, it seems. But perhaps more importantly, they get their hands on the Power Rune. Analog's going to pop it right away. He's going to head into the enemy jungle.
What's he looking for?
Maybe he's slipping behind. Just go for snaking.
Not level 6.
Okay, the Hoodwink is a much easier grab to get, for sure. And they will manage to get that much, but still trading 1-for-1 with the Power Rune used. It's not the best.
Yeah, that's an annoying death for crit. I mean, it's like, what are you supposed to do about that? But they do get a pretty okay trade.
One more facet to talk about. The new Shattering Crown for Dark Willow. It's got kind of like a mini Maledict effect where the damage that you do during the Curse Crowned build-up, when it finally explodes, it does a percentage of the damage that both you and allies did. For allies, it's specifically their physical damage, or attack damage, rather.
I mean, it basically turned her only non-damage spell into a damage spell.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I think it's pretty significant because, again, it's her only non-damage spell, so a lot of times you are dealing a lot of damage to targets that are under the effect of Curse Crown. And the delay is 4 seconds. That's a lot of time for people to input any amount of damage. Basically just damage amp.
Yeah.
Damage amp is strong. Like, you remember when Shaman had damage amp for like a week?
Nice pickup by Whisper. Very patient, waiting for Snake King to poke his head back out.
Anyway, Valve gave Shaman like one of the only buffs he's received in a decade, and he had it for a week, and they went, what? He's winning games? No. Get back into the dumpster, you piece of garbage.
So you expect him to be pushed back into the dumpster after he snuck his way out in the recent patch?
I'm sure the patch notes for Shaman have already been written. Like, they're just waiting to be pushed. They're just going to remove all his facets. Like, screw you.
The first facet list 0.
Yeah. That's going to be his facet. You get nothing.
Sumail pops the Echo to turn it around. Not enough damage.
Oh my, that was so close.
It was very close indeed.
That's so sad for him, dude.
If only he had the helping hand of just one hero. Snaking, chased after, does have a leap in a second here, but will not be able to get it off in time.
Is under attack.
Rogue getting some kills. Not really winning the laning phase, but they're going way more even than last game.
Dire's
I also
bottom
like
tower is under
Whisper
attack.
being active in that regard because Yuma is playing Magnus, which I don't think of in the same light as his Monkey King, for example. I'm not expecting him to be invading the enemy side lanes and doing work, you know? Expect
he's
this
a
guy to
farm.
be hitting creeps.
Farm bot for sure. Gotta expect the Primal and the Leshrac to be the ones making the moves, and it's gonna be a smoke on Analog. They want this Tide Hunter. You also got to think about this Primal eventually getting a break in this game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Could be super influential depending on if Whisper goes for this Ags. Just charge and break the Tide.
I mean, you definitely go the Ags. I guess the question is how early,
Radiant
right?
structures are fortified.
I don't think he really needs a... I don't think you rush BKB in this game, so...
Radiant's
Is it a blade mail game?
is under attack.
Kind of, but
They've
honestly,
got a
it's
lot
not
of AoE
that
damage
great.
they can't control, per se.
I mean, the Blade Mail is good versus the Bristle, but it's not that amazing versus the other
Radiant's
cores.
bottom tower
I'm not really sure what he goes to. He's thinking about just Ags Rush.
RP on 2. Good hit from Yuma, but he needs his team. And Analog is here a little bit too late to take advantage of the group up. And Amar, he's running a bit low on mana. He's got Magic 1 charge. He's got a lot of them, in fact. So this is not going to be an easy kill. Analog's got to be careful with the quills building up. And in fact, Amar, separated by an ice path. Analog is just outside of range. The Fisher goes off, and then the second round of quills
Wow, that
does land. King
close.
Jungles gets overrun. And Falcons, I'm looking at Sumail.
What? Miracle.
They'll take the Ancients. He's back.
I mean, this Bristle, honestly, I think another thing that helped this hero is you have Ancients,
Dire structures are
On-
fortified.
like all these corners effectively. So you don't have to go back to do Ancients. You can go forward to do them.
Right.
Kind of interesting. And I think the heroes that can do it really early just feel great doing that. This is just an easy fight for Amar. Like, he's the strongest hero on the map right now. And
Yeah.
you don't have the damage to bring him down, at least not altogether. The Quills just destroy you here.
Yeah, Analog pretty massively misreading, I think, the situation there. But then again, maybe he didn't have it out. After all the Falcons is diving past the tower.
That's just not the hero you want to fight. Whisper will dive tier 2 bottom, collect Snaking, who's ran out of pounce charges, and ride the river to safety.
There he goes.
The creep does not get the move speed buff. That's interesting. Little flag bearer creep just running down the river.
Oh, yeah. I guess it's
He's
to heroes
chilling.
only. Does it work for summons?
I don't know. I never really thought about it. I guess it's hero only. Solo smoke from Schofield. Well, he smoked other people, but he's running in here solo. He'll run out solo.
A little bit of chase. Crit's going to try and catch up. They're actually going to
He has
turn
no
on
mana.
Skeeter. He has some stick charge to operate a Ravage, but the damage, oh, they got him. He burns out.
That is the most Schofield play I've ever seen in my life. He runs up there solo. Skeeter is so confused he chases him and somehow dies.
And Schofield hits a two-man terrorize as they get some vision down. They're going to steal some stacks. Analog's going to be the winner of that one. They'll have to leave Dark Willow behind them.
is under attack.
That's such a classic Schofield play. No NA carry player would have chased him there. That's all I'm going to say.
I thought when you started that, I thought you were going to say it was a classic Skeeter play.
No, you just ignore this guy. Just don't chase him. It doesn't end well for you.
You either kill him and Schofield wins, or he kills you and Schofield wins.
Might be Ags first here for Whisper.
Dire's middle tower is under
Could pay off big time. Could also flop really hard because the build-up's a little rough. But he has a lot of HP to work with. We'll see if he goes BKB or Ags. You're going one of the two here. I kind of would like the Ags, honestly. I don't know. I just don't think you need the BKB this game.
I don't think you need the BKB. Ags is so valuable. Bristleback, Tide.
Look at this river chase. Smoke's coming in for him.
It also seems like team fights are going to be pretty long and drawn out, so...
Sensed it. You jumping him or you not jumping him?
Falcons don't even try to go for the Fisher arrow.
Or stacking. The Falcons game plan. Pick 3 melee cores that all get tanky. Stack. Farm your way to victory. Opponent does nothing.
Well, as much as Crit is trying to stack, he's not keeping up with the whole of Heroic. Still going to chase after Schofield. Didn't learn their lesson from last time, though he pops out of that Shadow Realm a little early and gets walloped.
I mean, Heroic are just banking that at some point this mag will come in the game and bail them out. Because they're giving up a lot right now. Generally, that's not a game plan I've seen be too successful for Leshrac. Kind of wants to be the one fighting around these tier 1s, getting power runes, snowballing a little bit more. Yeah, the hero can scale, but you don't have a lot to back him up with. This isn't a game where you're IO tethering him or you have Omni Knight or some sustain or saves or auras. Like, Leshrac is really good at using auras and sustain.
Yeah.
You have nothing. No. It's an empower lineup. So, I don't know. I think this game does feel a little bad for Analog right now. And losing Yuma is worst case scenario. Now you feel really bad.
Time to take some ancient stacks. That'll help rectify the situation a little bit. 3,000 net worth lead for Falcons. Though Amar is doing the same in the triangle right now.
Tormentor is available.
Yeah, funny how neither team set up for it right at 15 minutes, unlike last time. Amar's got his Aghanim Scepter done at 15.5 minutes with the cloak, treads.
Yeah, he's mega farmed, level 12. He is a beast right now. I think he's just going to go bottom, do this Tormentor, and try and snowball the game from there. Smoke from Heroic. I mean, this smoke has to land or you're losing a lot, because I think this Tormentor's going to get done here in the next minute or two.
Pushing into a Bristleback with Aghanim Scepter could be disastrous, though, especially when they don't have their own Aghanim Scepter on the Primal Beast. But if they just bring better numbers than Falcons to the situation, could still be good. As great as a Ravage could be, it's going to be 3 versus 5 potentially. Whisper, the smoke breaks on him. He doesn't charge after them, though.
Falcons just don't have the 2 heroes that are running here right now, in the Mirana and the Shaker, so they concede the positioning.
And they've got some nice vision.
Both teams have vision.
Falcons. The other heroes are getting here. Skater's going to run right into the middle of all of them here. Got the anchor out onto the Primal Beast. A really good start, especially with a follow-up of the Ravage. They should be able to just take Whisper out of the equation immediately. The follow-up there as the support dies. Another one's going to fall as the Shakiro's up next. Gets off his full Ice Path Macro Pyre, but they'll do nothing to stop Falcons, who will now 5-man the Tormentor.
Well, sometimes the best initiation is to just walk face first into the enemy.
Yeah.
And nothing happens. And you anchor the mobility hero, and you 5-second arrow the support. That was the easiest fight of Falcon's life. I don't think Kuro cast a single spell, actually. Other than the Jakiro spells as he's getting swatted off the map. I was like, damn, this is what it feels like to play on a real team. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
And it gets even worse for Heroic. Getting to fall apart. 8,000 net worth lead. Even more than Falcons had the last time around. And that was through lanes mostly.
Yeah, this game is crumbling really fast.
This time around, Falcons have much better team fight than they had in game 1. Now, Heroic still has some big combo potential. Hard to realize it, though. It's kind of banking on an RP that doesn't, you know, this Magnus doesn't have a Blink Dagger. So in the meantime, they're just going to get picked apart over and over again.
Yeah, this time the supports on Falcons are contributing a lot more on the map and in the game. Especially these fights, these backliners for Heroic don't have the same positioning they did in that game 1 because the front line is not holding its own right now. Tide can just walk into them, the Bristle can just walk into them and start forcing the issue. You have to stand there and fight them. Otherwise, this team fight is just never going to work out. Maybe this BKB/Ags on Whisper will allow you to do that better, but you are losing so much in the meantime to farm up to this. You lost Tormentor, you're going to lose Roshan. Lost some kills. The lead is now going to be 10K.
With an Aegis on who? They've got 3 very tanky
Bristle.
cores.
It goes to Bristle for sure here.
Yeah, Amar's opened up the spot. He is the highest net worth hero. Very likely the one to be doing the most frontlining.
I think the seeing red was smart here because you don't have a traditional right clicker. So
Sure.
now you can just build this Bristle like a 1-position Bristle. And you have 2 other tanky dudes. You have 2 other utility stunners. You don't need more disable or chase, right? You just need damage.
Radiant's bottom
And maybe
tower
that's why
is under
Sumail is
attack.
forsaking his usual Kaya-Sanj build. Though I don't know if he still would do that in this patch, but he's going for the Aghanim Scepter, so he will also be building up some physical damage.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And Heroic left
Dire's
with
top tower is under attack.
no footing.
Radiant's
Get
bottom
themselves back up here. Just continue to whether it is a bushwhack grab or an arrow that lands.
Oh, beautiful setup.
Dark Will from behind does do a decent amount of damage. We saw a little bit of that Curse Crown damage come into play. Not enough to kill Snake King. And now Schofield being chased down as well. So losing heroes on both sides of the map. This really just could not get worse for Heroic.
They knocked him into the pipe.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Sent him upriver.
This entire map just crumbled on the Tormentor and Roshan. The lack of a cohesive team fight, the fact that Magnus feels like he needs another item to join the fray. Just so slow. And you farmed all that time for Whisper BKB and he dies even when he has it. Not looking like a lot of options to fall back on here if you're Heroic outside of some wombo combo team fight with the RP, Ice Path, Terrorize.
Scanning.
Yeah, this point it feels like it's going to be banked on a Harpoon Skewer back. Whisper, do you want to try and bail him out? Ravage immediately put to use. Jakiro dies anyway. Now Whisper in the middle of all these heroes, though. Heroic do have the numbers. Falcons are struggling to get here, but a skewer back onto Amar. Pulls him deep into the base. He doesn't care, though. He's got the Aegis, and he just turns around and kills them.
What was that damage?
Do not go on a porcupine.
That's just the game.
Dire's structures
It was such a disgusting amount of damage. Was that the Ag spray or was it just all...
No, that was the
Auto
Ag spray.
proc.
He got it off before he got
Okay.
skewered, I think.
I mean, Heroic regret this play for sure.
Maybe he pops it here. Yeah, there.
Yeah, he got it all off. I wasn't sure if he got it off before that Ice Path, but that is all it takes. Didn't want to RPM and you pay the price. There's Yuma going, yeah, that hero's really balanced.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't skewer the Bristleback with Aegis into the rest of my team. My bad, guys.
No, this draft just didn't go anywhere for Heroic. I think they had to fight a lot earlier. They had to make rotations with the Slash, you know, kick the Tide out of lane, take a tower, snowball the map more, maybe get 1 or 2 successful ganks mid. Just way too slow of a game. Like, there's no way you can play off-lane Primal here and just go first item BKB and you don't take a fight before that. There's just no way. You're giving a team like Falcons way too much room to do whatever they want. I mean, I don't know what Whisper's hero damage is, but it's got to be really low.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Porpoise
attack.
Eater, now Manatee Eater. The boy grows. Stats-wise, I think you go even at level 10, so he is well past that.
Oh, he's a big boy.
Very big boy. Schofield gets anchored. That's going to set up the shot. They've got 2 skill shots to the side of Falcons from their supports, whether it's the sharpshooter or the arrow. They really have not missed very often. Perhaps at all, honestly.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Also, you were asking who's going to build pipe in this game. It's the Mirana. That is Snake King's item of choice if he ever gets there. So that's like mega value. You get a pipe for all these tanky frontliners and none of them have to buy it.
Yeah, Fleshrack gets hit by a...
Oh! That's a little awkward from the King.
Right into that one.
Yeah, could just fissured him.
If Fleshrack gets hit by Mage Slayer, they activate pipe. It's just not possible for him to do these cores dirty.
Radiant
That's why I'm still
scanning.
suspect of Lesh as a hero just in a vacuum. Like, you need a lineup that makes him work. I don't think he's just this, oh, let's just pick Lesh mid and he's just going to deal damage. No, the hero doesn't do that much damage in a lot of games because people itemize against him.
Yeah.
And his spells are really weak on their own. Like, this is not a hero like Ember Spirit where you can rely on his spells to at least give you some playability in the fight.
Yeah. And on the other side of the table, when it comes to the physical damage that they do, Magnus, I think this facet is cool and everything, as we're going to watch Whisper get annihilated. Cool facet for Magnus as a carry, no doubt. Helps with his damage quite a bit, but they also killed some of his damage because of the Universal Hero change, right?
Yes.
Like, Universal Heroes just do not scale nearly as well.
Skeeter don't care. He says, look at me. I am big and bad.
Or Fish Eater.
Yeah, he's climbing the ranks. The pipe is done. BKB on the bristle's done. Everything available here.
You ever seen an oarfish?
I have actually. They're really cool. They're
those
really
things
big
are-
and wide.
Yes. Super, super long, boys.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Easy jump. Arrow lands. See you later, Dark Willow.
Another sharpshooter shot that lands as well. His duo's just not missing. Well, Heroic, you can play it out if you want. I do not know how you're making the comeback. Because again, even if you skewer back a hero, that hero is so tanky that I don't think you kill him fast enough.
Yeah, I don't
I
know
think
if
they
there
get
is
off Echo Slam, they get off Ravage, or Enchant Totem away, or Bristle Black gets off his Ags.
I just don't know if there is a real comeback here. Maybe if you have Blink RP into Primal Ags, you can break the tide in a massive clumped RP. I could believe that, but that's a long way away. There's a lot that can go wrong trying to accomplish that. You will bleed out some more net worth here. Falcons, in Falcon-esque way, will continue to farm the map with their lead.
And they say it's up to you to tap out. Otherwise, we're just going to grow and grow and grow like this Tidehunter, who's now a Walrus Eater, which makes me kind of sad. I like walruses.
You know, Falcons probably having to do a little personal talk with Sumail and say, hey, man, you know, we're not like Nigma. We don't go high ground and throw 4 times in a row. We're going to farm the map for 30 minutes. You're going to have to get used to it, you know. King not used to this playstyle.
Slow your roll, King.
Getting a little anxious right now. Haven't thrown going high ground enough. Good amount of time here, boys.
Please, guys,
I've
got the
go.
shield rune. Let me go high ground. You ever find these games a little peaceful sometimes?
No.
Falcons games where they just
Oh, yeah.
get bigger and bigger. Wait, why'd you say no and then yeah?
I thought I was talking about something else.
Like what?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Falcons games. They're slow, they're methodical. Get rid of every camp on the map. Something satisfying about watching that net worth lead build up from 20 to 30 to 40, sometimes 50, 60K.
Update on the Tidehunter's diet. He is now eating manta rays.
Is it mana ray larger than an oarfish? I feel like that depends on the species, honestly. I don't think that's a guarantee. I think Valve, honestly, I think Valve's marine biology is a little off. If I have to critique something about the company, I think they probably don't have a marine biologist on staff.
Yeah, great at games and selling games, but I mean, they have economists on staff. Why don't they have marine biologists on staff?
That's a good question. Never know.
They're right there in Seattle, too. They've got all those great aquariums.
Yeah, actually, Gabe is like the biggest yacht owner in the world, right?
Yeah, seriously.
He probably has a personal marine biologist.
He does. On one of those boats, surely. Dude who just hangs out and looks at the fish that they occasionally fish out of the sea and tells them, hey, what's this?
Wait,
John, what is this?
You think that's what a marine biologist would do?
That's what I think Gabe uses a marine biologist
for. He just stands there and goes, that's an oarfish. And Gabe goes, wow. I'm really impressed by you right now, in his usual voice line.
Yeah, he says, give me fun facts on oarfish. And then he says, an oarfish can grow up to 60 feet long.
Okay, well, that's a fun way to live your life, you know? The lead has gone down.
What would you do with a marine biologist on staff?
I don't want to answer. I plead the fifth. Not going to answer that. That's self-incriminating. Schofield giving a massive yawn here. He's very bored with this game. He says, oh, something's happening. No, wait, I'm dying. That's not fun. And you will pull a Nightfall.
A little Nightfall action.
Can we get a replay of the Schofield yawn? There's a big one. Oh, yeah. Look at that, baby.
He really upped his oxygen intake. What do you think level 20 Tidehunter is?
You think that's what he tells his team? I was just deep breathing, guys. Wait, what'd you ask?
I asked you what you thought the Tidehunter was going to be eating next.
An oil tanker. Got to keep it realistic a little bit here. Anchor will be dropped on the Magnus. They're going to try an all-in human. I think he is going to get all-in. He does. His corpse will be smashed into the nether realm. Does he have buyback? No, he does not, Austin. So that's your final fight for the game.
If it was realistic, level 1 would be microplastic.
It was nanoplankton, I believe.
Shark Eater. Eventually, we're going to get to Whale Eater, which is what Avery's nickname was in college.
What the fuck? What? Wait, what? I cannot believe you just said that.
Said what? 33-9, 32,000 net worth lead.
What?
BKB, Leshrac, it all changed now.
For the record, I do not know the other man on the microphone. I've never met him in my life. I just walked in this studio. They said, you want to cast some games? I said, sure. They said, you're paired with this dude. I'd never met him before. I don't know anything about him. He has his own entity. I have my own lawyer. Just for the record. 33K, the lead has continued to build.
Oh, thank you.
This is what I like about Falcons game. So bring that line back up. That is a smooth curve right there. Look at that curve. That is what you want your 401k to look like right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's what it looked like pre-2020s. That's the boomer 401k right there.
I mean, that's the Falcons' way, man. Continue to invest. Make wise decisions and let the dividends pay off. This isn't an Aegis to end the game with, Austin. This is an Aegis to grow richer with. To pad them bank accounts. Look at Skeeter. Look at his eyes.
Whale Shark
right
Eater.
now.
All right.
All he sees are creeps on the map. And all he hears is AUI's voice in his head. Farm. Keep farming.
What is that? Why did AUI turn into Golem?
No, he's He's like Darth Sidious, you know.
My precious.
He's like a bad influence.
I don't think that's true at all, actually. I think Curtis is probably the good end.
Yeah. Farm the creeps I never had a chance to.
He did do a lot of farming his 4 position.
Yeah, he did. He was a dog, a siren, and techies player.
Yeah,
so
seriously.
that's disgusting. Hey, they are killing stuff.
Well, yeah, of course they're killing stuff. That's been what Falcons.
Oh, another Nightfall TP. And another one.
I love the fireworks that are going off right beforehand, too.
Hiya! ATF will dice analog down and go to end this game. I feel like that's the 3rd time I said that. So that means they're going to back off here again.
Well, the towers give you gold, but the throne doesn't. So
a ravage on nothing. It was a symbolic ravage of their domination.
Ravage.
And the GG has been called, Austin. It is over. It's finally over.
Didn't know who I was. Mr. Walsh, remember?
Team Falcons will claim victories. Look,
really ran through your F-word budgets.
yeah, I think that was my last one. But
I don't think you have any more for the entirety of DreamLeague.
well, somebody's running out of budgets.
You can have some of mine. How about that?
Okay, thank you. One of these teams is also running out of their lost budget, Austin, as everything is on the line in this series. Game 3 between Falcons and Heroic. I will do the intro this time, Mr. Walsh.
Okay. Keep going.
No, that was all I had.
No, you have to keep going. The music is still going. You have to keep going
Are you
until the
serious?
music is.
Well, it's not too dramatic anymore. This is a really nice one. You really sold this one, huh?
All right, leave the intros to me.
Do you ever miss the old player introductions where people used to go through it player by player? Nobody does
And we'll
that
go
anymore.
through it left to right. We've got Yuma on his Ursa, who's going to be rocking the bear down facet. Analog is going to be taking the Earthshaker away from Samael into his own hands and looking to knock one out with the Slugger facet. Magnus, Whisper is going to be taking that with a difference in facet from before. It's diminishing returns, which is what that joke is. The side violins getting diminishing returns.
That is, yeah, that's true. Take note.
Shadow Shaman, the new facet, Chicken Finger. Schofield's going to be rocking that. Really thought he would have liked the other facet, just because that sounds like more annoying and elusive for Schofield to be using, but he's going to turn people into chicken. Delicious. And King Jungle's 3 for 3, rocking the Jakiro all series long, and of course with his trusty Icebreaker facet. And the laning phase has started, so we can't go over Falcons. Sorry.
What?
Well, there's things to talk about. Schofield's probably going to die this time, you know?
Okay.
Were there any other interesting facets?
I don't think so.
No, they're all the norm.
Frugal Filch got buffed, right? Unless I'm mistaken. The Rubik facet? I think he's a higher percentage now.
Maybe.
Either way, 80% at level 3 is kind of absurd. You just get free stolen spells. Bonkers. Especially in a game like this where maybe you get an Ags, maybe you get an Eighth Lens, stealing them big spells left and right, just throwing them out forever.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it went from 40, 50, 60 to 50, 65, 80.
That's a lot. That's just a lot of extra mana to work around. And in a game like this, man, there is no shortage of good spells to steal. I am looking towards crit on this Rubik to put in some teamfight work. In a series that has been marked by two things, I want to say, who can win teamfights and who has the better front line. That's how I've kind of seen this series go down.
Okay.
We have some interesting frontline breakers in this game. Like the PA and the Ursa are kind of two carries that, in theory, can break that front line. In the PA's case, quite literally, but they're designed to just go on that frontline hero and kill him regardless of who it is. I think they can achieve that here. But you have a bunch of tanky boys in this game. 6 melee cores, Austin. Is this a sign of things to come? Or is this just Falcons Dota?
I definitely would say it's a sign of things to come. I do think Falcons is kind of interesting. They opted for extremely mobile heroes this time around, despite the beef winning them game 2. Ember, PA, Mirana. Like, it is going to be tough for this Ursa to stick on top of heroes.
Yeah, that is a concern here for sure. We also just haven't seen this hero in a long time in terms of being consistently in the meta. So Battle Fury being cheaper is pretty nice for him.
Yeah, he's also got a mag on his team, so that's should help a lot.
Actually, the Battle Fury buff is probably... It's like the best for Ursa compared to all the Battle Fury heroes because I think Ursa cared the least about the damage on Battle Fury. He just wanted the cleave because he's a stack-based hero.
Yeah,
So him losing the damage doesn't really matter for him, whereas for something like, I don't know, Phantom Assassin, right? Where the damage counts for a lot because you're amping it up.
Yeah.
Way more impactful. So put a point on the board for Ursa Warrior. The Fuzzy Wuzzy returns again.
Okay. If we have tanky heroes continuing to be the meta, do you think that also plays to Ursa's favor?
Oh yeah, for sure. He's a great frontline. In some games, he's just untouchable. Doesn't always win those, but he can definitely become unkillable. Still has a lot of these cool, like, perma and rage builds you can do with the shard and everything.
Excellent Tormentor taker. Another point to Ursa.
Good Roshan taker.
Good Roshan taker, which...
He's a fast Roshan taker. That's how I see it. And when Rosh is in the middle of the map, sometimes that makes a way more of a difference, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I could see Ursa come back this patch as long as the hero's viable lane and just gameplay-wise. So far, very even laning phase. Everybody's just kind of trading out. I also like the mag on Whisper better than on Yuma. I think it suits his team a lot more.
How so?
Because I think it's like, I think Whisper will just play it like a playmaker and a team fighter, and I think when it's on Yuma, their game ends up being really slow. Because the carry mag just can't make plays or contribute to the game too quickly.
Yeah.
So you alleviate two things at once.
Lifestealer, you could kind of do that. Ursa, you could definitely do that.
Yep.
Be a little bit more active. We're already seeing trying to win this lane against Amar. Meanwhile, top lane. Oh, Analog. They left Amar alone in lane. Crit makes the rotation into mid, almost getting the kill. Not quite good enough, though. Bottle charges keep him alive. Samael takes a lot of grief on his way out. Analog's still here with the Fissure, so if King Jungles can actually get somebody low enough.
Tough matchup for the Ember, but Samael doing perfectly fine in it. Crit trying to get a little extra. Might die here.
King Jungle's on the other side, aiming for the kill on Crit, but he will die instead to Samael. Slight Chains overwhelms him.
Okay, nice little turnaround from Crit. Anytime you're winning early battles with Rubik, you should be super happy because this hero is not that strong in the ultra early game. And solo XP for ATF, where he's not getting punished by the Ursa with the early bracers done on the Mars. So this is looking like a strong lane phase for Falcons, as we come to expect from this team, but the setup here looks really solid. These lanes should get better for them over time, I think.
Yeah. I like the Rubik as, like, it's an old school Jakiro answer, right? You ever get your hands on Ice Path, it's so good.
Or if you don't skill Ice Path.
Is under attack.
Well, then you're just nerfing your own hero. Considering he went the fastest to build around Ice Path. I sure hope he's planning on leveling it. Analog, he's going to take this fight. He actually makes the read that he can survive. Samael chained up.
Yuma's here.
Yeah, Yuma came across the river to assist. This is what we're talking about. This guy is just so aggressive.
Yeah, he makes crazy rotations. That is not a play you expect, but ends up paying off. Now this Ursa's top of the board. Wasn't really having fun in this bottom lane too much. The lane's super far up here, so doesn't cost him much to make this move. And ends up winning Heroic a nice little mid-exchange.
The downside for Analog is he actually had to run back to Fountain, so we won't have that experience advantage.
Yeah,
which I think could have been a part of this. He gets level 6 before the Ember, right? Then you're looking at maybe back-to-back kills.
I think he will get it at basically the same time, but that XP went into Schofield anyway, which is not a hero you're sad to get it on. This Shaman's having a really good early game. He's already level 4, he has boots. He's stacking the triangle as well. A lot of stacks going on for Heroic they can go back to with this Ursa timing or something else. No stack there for Crit. Needs to go back and read the patch notes again.
Wait, what?
Missed the stack.
Oh, on the timing.
Yeah, he's got to go look at the box, you know?
I thought you were implying there was a buff to stacking in some way now.
Not that I know of. All right, is it going to be Echo Slamma Jamma for the Stackerinos?
Yeah, it's time.
Let's watch this.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like if someone's in the river below that hard camp, they die to that.
Radiant's middle
Yeah,
tower is
from
under
all the
attack.
corpses
Yeah, all
flying
the
out.
slugger hits, because they all go in the river down here.
Yeah.
Imagine you just walk by and get killed by that. That'd be hilarious. Big injection for Analog. Honestly, kind of needed it. He was not doing too well in this early game.
Oh, Rune coming up. And
Oh,
he
he
gets an amp damage. A
snags
little
it
extra health. for
Right
Analog.
behind the king. Well, both kings. Dual kings. One crown.
Too many cooks in the kitchen. Too many kings in a team.
Who's the third king in Dota? We got a tri-king team.
People like calling Ame the uncrowned king.
All right, yeah. That sounds like a good team.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Mar's done pretty well for himself in this kind of 1v2. 1v3, though, very different circumstance. Schofield is level 6.
Yeah, he's owning. 1-0-2 is not the craziest score, but you got to remember, this Shaman, he's already level 6. He's been influential on 3 lanes, and he stacked the hell out of that triangle, right, which boosted that Shaker up a lot. So the fact that he's the highest level and the most farmed support here, on top of having the most stacks, had a very efficient early game. Now he's just going to drop the wards for a tier 1.
Dire's bottom
Not a tier 1 you want to lose. This is going to make contesting that Tormentor a lot more difficult.
And TP's coming in. Snake King. Anamar. Try and stop this. It looks like they're just going to accept damage done. Snake King gets to farm some of the wards. Or Amar gets to farm some of the wards, rather.
Not the best for snakes, but an early one, so it's up again in a minute.
Dire's top tower
Still very
is
even
under
game.
attack.
Smail's got to be a little bit careful. The Shadow Shaman is in the area. That's the one hero to worry about here. So much control.
Everybody looking for the rune again. Even Whisper here.
You're back. RP back, apparently.
You are dead, sir.
Arrow's gonna go out. Does not hit King Jungles. Chains not lasting long enough, and Whisper will just ski run out of here. So Heroic doing a good job of forcing rotations out of Falcons and not really losing anything for it.
I mean, honestly, I feel like all their early games have been pretty solid this event. I haven't had issue with Heroic's laning phase in a lot of situations. They've gone toe-to-toe with a lot of the European teams. That's not... You know, like even the game 1 we saw today where they lost lanes, that was a decision. Right, you went into that game against the Huskar, against strong lanes with a team fight lineup. You're okay losing lanes in that game. My issue has been the transition for them. Like, what happens after the first 10 minutes? Sometimes it's insane, and sometimes it's just nothing. That part I do not understand. So, quick smoke on Analog with a blink. Maybe this will be a sign of things to come, trying to get more active here and shut down these
This will
farms.
be the start of some momentum here. Echo Slam going to be put to use to kill Amar again.
Yeah, nice little kill. That's a really good target, too. Stats heavy ATF Mars, who just wants to sit here and bully the Ursato lane and get every CS. You kill him, lower the value of all that item investment. Slow down the eventual blink to come for Falcons by a lot, which is going to slow down their own smokes, their own initiations, give you time, give you tempo, and push Yuma up ahead of the PA.
Yep. Push him ahead of the PA. Push Whisper ahead of Amar. Allow him to be a lot more active as his blink dagger's coming in soon. It's good snowball.
Dire's
And
top
Schofield
tower
just continues
is
to sit
under
mid
attack.
while these plays happen, so you're not losing mid XP. This Shaman continues to get really big. I mean, it's only 1,000 behind Sumail.
It's not an easy hero to commit on because of the foul play passive either.
Radiant are scanning.
Awkward map position for Falcons. Feels like they want to attack something, but what do you attack here? Haste rune on Sumail will maybe open something up. There's a very strong rune. You can use quite aggressively here. But you don't have the blink on the Mars, and it's a long way away. I don't know. It doesn't feel like there's too many moves Falcons can make. Maybe just try and get 6 on the Rubik and the blink on the Mars, and in 4 or 5 minutes you make that play, or try and get it in time for the Tormentor. Looks like another smoke being set up here by Schofield, or he's thinking about it. I mean, wards are up. Echo Slam's up in 20. Could easily smoke to one of these tier 1s and get a kill, drop wards on it. No dire glyph available for another minute as well.
Think probably wait for Whisper to get his blink, make a move mid, see if he can. You get a kill, get that tower with the wards. It would open up the map significantly.
Yeah, Mag Blink is done right on time as Amar is just going to walk in here. Heal some creeps.
Smoke to the back line. Schofield and Analog are going to back up King Jungles. KJ, he's kind of baiting a little bit, but it's definitely going to cost him his life. Can they get the return, though? There goes the Echo Slam and a quick grab onto Samael. That Ice Path. A stolen bit of piece there from Crit. Almost saved the life of Samael, but chase after Yuma now. Are they going to try and help Yuma through this one? He still has the Enrage. And after the Enrage is gone, he tried to get through the wall. It doesn't work that way, so he's stuck.
That ends up being a nice move for Falcons in the end. They get the biggest target on the map. The Battle Fury was just done on the Ursa, and he instantly dies.
Well, if they're all going to go bottom, maybe you can take mid with the wards.
Oh, RP.
Straight into the Enchant Totem. Quick kill. And those two can now help put pressure on mid where the wards are going to work.
Yeah, no Arena here to defend this. His tower's gone for sure. Can only look for the trade bottom here as Skeeter wails into this tower. You could see Heroic try and defend this too, but they might not all have TPs. Only Schofield's going.
Yeah, Schofield's going to get the Hex on him.
The deny.
TP is going to complete. He got the deny, and he still has Shackles ready to go. What? Oh, okay.
You wanted to shackle him after the blink? That was a little greedy.
Yeah, it was greedy.
That was incredibly greedy.
Felt nonsensical, too. Why would you want to shackle him after the blink?
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I feel like if you just ignored the tower, right-clicked the PA, and then shackled him, I think he just dies. But
yeah.
Maybe he was expecting Rubik to be there sooner.
Well, the macro part of the game is still on point for Heroic. They successfully get Tormentor. So they get mid-tower, they get Tormentor. This is boosting that 4K net worth lead now. Yeah, I didn't finish reading this one. So this is the old foul play?
No, it upgrades it basically. It increases the invulnerable time. You get 3 more chickens, and you can use items while you're a chicken, which is kind of crazy because I think it makes you really hard to kill if you have mobility items.
Yeah, the potential of Blink getting away in that little bit of confusion.
Glimmer Cape, Core Staff.
And Glimmer Cape's a big one because of the barrier that you get.
I don't know if this is a shard you ever want to buy on this hero, but you get it for free. And you're the same net worth as the enemy mid. Definitely don't feel bad about it. I mean, the blink is going to come out for Schofield here. Still having a tremendous game on the Shaman as another smoke comes through from Heroic. Being a lot more active this game.
A pleasant, if fleeting sight.
The Battle Fury.
RP Ice Path, see you later. Another support kill takes that Ice Path off the map.
Dude, that is so weird. Battle Fury's double broadswords.
Yeah, I always think it's a misclick, but nice stacks were also created by Crit during the downtime, so acceleration for Skeeter. Something to fall back on.
Good read. Whisper blinking back right as Falcons were making the Moonlight Shadow gank on him.
And that's that Mars blink reveal. Does not land. Feels bad for Amar right now as Schofield's own blink flying out right now. So the blinks are up for Heroic. They have a lot of sources of initiation to play around right now. Big difference this game could be the Shaman. He's the one standout, so he can have a good fight. Can definitely turn this game towards the Ursa rather than the PA. And can be a tough target for Skier to jump, especially with that shard foul play.
Yeah, the fact that they have such mobile heroes, Blink Dagger, Shadow Shaman, super powerful.
The Rubik is an issue, though. Like, he turns that around against you really fast.
Sure.
No Aetherland's done for Crit yet, though. His game's been pretty slow. That would be the biggest upgrade for him in these early fights. He's going to have to go in, do it the old-fashioned way.
Got a ward. They spot the Jakiro. Whisper just blinked in, and they got him inside the arena, so they can get 2 off of this. Maybe. Whisper actually could skewer out.
He's very tanky.
He's even tempting them to go for him. Yeah, he had 2 healing lotuses still.
2k HP, double healing lotus, wand, and gossamer cape. Not the easiest target to go down unless you have some crazy spell stolen or you land the arrow combo.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Sentry is also dropped, so that obs is likely going to get dewarded. So you want more out of this if you're Falcons right now. You want this mid-tier 1. You're confident enough to do it. You get a deward of their own. That's pretty big.
Radiant's middle tower
It is dangerous to try and push that tower, though, because you're pushing into an Earthshaker. You lose that fight, you might give up Roche.
Yeah, too hard without the ultimates here. No Potta multi and no arena. Look at the vision, though. I mean, the ward planted behind that tier 1 and the one in mid lane. That is a very good ward to go back to here a few minutes down the line. Could yield a very good team fight here for Falcons.
Yuma teeping up to top lane, or mid.
This ward is already giving you so much info.
Yeah.
This is,
They know he has BKB now.
well, I guess it didn't give Snaking too much info. He gets Echo Slammed. And maybe it didn't give him too much info.
Okay, he gets out, no problem.
I was going to say, if they all got caught, seeing them all there, I don't know what to say about that. But the problem is this Mirana death enough to open up Roshan? Heroic say it is. Got scanned, so Falcons know what's happening, but they don't have Skeeter's BKB.
Biggest hope is Samael. The damage he can do inside the pit with the slight. Oh,
Double
Spear actually catches and quickly kills Analog. In the process, the H is going to be picked up by Yuma, though. They got him.
RP.
Meanwhile, the RP locking down all these heroes for Yuma to go to work. After grabbing the extra life, he will use the first life to get a triple kill. Now hunting down the rest. Schofield blinking forward, searching for more. Snaking. He still has a leap, so he is likely good.
That was such an ambitious fight from Falcons.
Or
3v5 into RP. They're going to lose a 4th, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's a really risky move. I thought he had Shard on the Mars. It looked like he got a double pin, but he doesn't.
No.
So he only gets to stun 1 hero there. Yeah, I don't really know how you win this fight.
I mean, it kind of was because they killed Analog and he pinned Yuma.
Yeah, it looked omega weird, but this RP is just straight nasty. You had that cleave on top. That's a big fight to throw away. Like, you took a gamble and you lost. Yeah, I mean, Sumail's like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to really do there, you know? I think even if you steal RP and throw it, you're still losing that fight because your PA is not joining it. And your Mirana's dead. So, questionable at best.
Tower is under attack.
Think there's any muscle memory to taking these Roshan fights now for like the old players who used to have to play for these mid Roshan pits all the time?
You mean like finding the pit?
No.
What muscle memory?
No, I mean strategy.
I guess. I don't know. I guess. What kind of muscle memory?
Do you not remember Dota back then? You were playing in it. We were like doing like we would go like the same sort of situations all the time when it came to contesting these mid Roshan pits. There was like, it felt like it was very optimized because people had been playing it for like 15 years at that point in time. That dire staircase was always a bit of a death trap.
Yeah, I can see your point. I think there's a little bit of that.
Five-man smoke up from Heroic. Not going to find Falcons initially. Falcons playing on the edges of the map.
Radiant's top
Schofield
tower is under attack.
leading the way straight to Skeeter. Go left. You'll find him. Oh, if Schofield found that opening, it's a dead Skeeter. But instead, a BKB goes off and Skeeter's able to get away. Still,
that is
BKB
not
charge used.
a good first BKB, though.
Yeah.
On a hero we've seen struggling today to carry games.
No doubt. And he's going the same build, it looks like. SNY, Satanic.
Snake will steal that rune away from Analog, but there's still not much happening for Falcons to accelerate the game. Other than just watching the PA farm. Like, you have 3,000 gold on Amar. What's this going into? There's just no new items for Falcons right now, and there's a lot of new items on the side of Heroic.
They just keep getting stronger. The quick pick on a Snake King who tries to get a D ward. Ward actually stays alive for now. Mar goes back to deal with it. Blinks away.
Schofield.
Oh, Sumail would be a great grab.
Lincoln 1. He's going to get him, I think. He didn't go. He's waiting on the remnant.
Waiting on the remnant to get him when he comes back. Now, his allies, they'll get here eventually, and Shadow Shaman just offers so much control. It's guaranteed.
I mean, easy setup for Schofield. Way too easy. Now you're bleeding out heroes on the map, losing map control. You still have all this gold in the bank on these cores, man. Like, that's what I'm looking at. Between this Ember and Mars, you're sitting on almost 6,000 gold. So if you're not investing all this gold now to try and win a fight, and your plan is to just go late with the Phantom Assassin, Heroic, they can just push high ground. They have Shaman wards in this game. They have Urso, who's going to get Aegises. They don't have to give you all that time. That's what I would like to see if, well, if you're looking at how Heroic execute their lineup. I have nothing against either team in this situation, and I'm completely unbiased, for the record. See, people think I'm a biased caster often.
I do. That's viewer brain right
But
there.
I hate every team equally. I assure you. I despise all of them.
Same. 15-5, 9,000 net worth lead for Heroic. Aegis will expire. Huh?
Make your own joke, man. Just steal mine.
BKB for the Earthshaker soon. Boy, they just
they're stacking
triple
up
BKB up. I don't know what Falcons does about that.
They have to win a team fight soon. They have to invest the gold they have, which they have done. They bought out BKB for the Mars, Sanj for the Ember, and Yasha for the PA. So they bought out completely here, and they're smoking to try and take a fight with the gold investment.
They're baiting out the Tormentor. They're so strong, but instead of taking the Tormentor themselves, King Jungles does the same plant, which you would assume that Falcons looked over the replay between games, but they also take it so quickly that, like, is there any value to seeing them at this point?
No, that's why I don't really get this ward, because I feel as though the way you can test Tormentor is you just set up there and wait for the team to come to you. You bait it.
Yeah.
Seeing them there doesn't do jack shit, because once they're there, it's already dead instantly.
Particularly
unless you're already there.
Tormentors, yeah.
But if you're already there,
yeah,
why not just take the high ground, right? And then you don't need the ward there. That's why this ward makes no sense to me.
Well, Heroic, maybe the call was from Analog. He's like, guys, I don't want to fight until I have BKB. You guys have BKB, yeah, sure. I want one too.
I mean, he has it, and he's an Arcane Rune now. Still a very good position for Heroic. And they're closing in on MKB for Yuma. That would be a real backbreaker here. If you can get MKB on the Ursa and then connect against the PA in the fight, you just shred him.
Serrated Shiv. True strike opportunities.
Yeah, that's actually massive here. The best item you could have rolled by far. 20% True Strike. Just massive versus an evasion hero.
We'll see whether or not that True Strike is even needed, because he might just kill them all with Cleave. Battle Fury, Empower, and the group up possibilities of Skewer RP, depending on what Whisper can accomplish here. He's got an Aether Lens. He's got the tools to make it happen. And they are going to put Falcons under the gun here.
I guess it's not actually 20% True Strike, though, because it has a cooldown, but
yeah.
Whatever, even if it's 10%. Sumail just going in mid. Oh, he dodged
Tried to get the initiation, but it got the slide off first.
Did he know, or did he sense it? Or was it luck? We'll never know.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But the king escapes.
keeps his head for now.
Mar was looking up here, but I don't think that's the target he wants. Or does he?
He
Doesn't it
does.
just go?
RP, but did he actually bail him out from that arrow that was coming in? As a result, Yuma gets off his Enrage and his BKB. He has to make a run for it, though, as the PA is coming in soon, and they don't have any control now that the RP was used. The quick response from Whisper in some ways plays against them. Analog does come in and get a dunk onto Oral Crit, but now he's in danger. Fortunately, that Enchant Totem gets him away from the spear that was coming in, and a buyback, really, from Schofield. That felt unnecessary.
Yeah, that fight was completely done.
Roshan, maybe? He's afraid that Roche could be up, and they're going to do it right away.
But you're still waiting for the Ursa anyway. That's just a wasted buy. I agree. Awkward situation, because you bail out the Ursa with the arrow tank. But that also could have happened without RPing the Mars solo. Then you just don't have enough to fight. I think the Ursa's too low at that point to win the fight anyway. Just a good find from ATF, honestly.
Yeah.
Gets the full spear back. No Ursa ulti goes off. You're really happy with that setup. No matter what happens after that, I think you're happy with that setup if you're Falcons. Because Skeeter's fight's just going to be really clean from then on. Big win for them. Try and turn this game around right now. They needed it. Gets them to the next set of items and slows down this Ursa versus PA momentum, though that MKB is still completed here for Yuma. Big pickup.
Perfect timing for it, too.
Well, they saw
Conclusive Roshan fight coming in. Got the arena onto 2. BKB already used by Whisper, and a pick off on King Jungles. A great start to this for Falcons, if only Roche was up.
And Crit got level 4 Ice Path. And he gets the Destroy as well.
Yeah.
So he gets the Super Ice Path.
All for the low cost of 35 mana.
Yeah, I don't know if it changes too much for this spell, but that is pretty good. That is some raw value.
Oh, no. Schofield. A buyback turn dieback, potentially. Another RP on Mars.
Got stolen.
This is just not good at all. Just the RP by itself. But if Crit managed to hit his own RP, this is going to be disaster. Analog, he's got to try and enchant totem his way out of here. Fumbling. Heroic. Had an advantage 2 fights in a row, though. An RP on a solo Mars who does not die, thanks to Bulwark.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I don't really get that RP either, in a way. I mean, that one you really didn't need to do to bail anybody out. It was just maybe he thought he was going to get more in the AoE.
And Crit's just begging them, please contest this, Roshan.
Oh, yeah, and the fact you gave that RP away as well. Even more brutal on top. This was not a Roshan you wanted to lose with the way Ursa was getting to his items. Yuma feels real bad right now as Skeeter is starting to feel more comfortable going into these fights. He'll claim that tier 1 mid for free. More gold being injected into Falcons right now, and that Shaman lead that once existed against the other supports is gone. Heroic bleeding out here. They do not have good answers for the Mars on the front line. That's been the issue.
Which is kind of crazy to me because he's just running around with...
Yeah, he has like nothing.
Soul Ring, BKB, Blink.
He only has 7+6 armor. I feel like it shouldn't be that hard to just put the Ursa on him casually and start hitting. But maybe you're too afraid of the chain stun potential here. That's where I feel like you need this Ursa shard and maybe add stuff like this. You can go in more confidently without popping Enrage BKB or having to pull a quick RP to bail him out. A lot of it has also just been Falcons finding the initiation. You have this ninja gear on ATF, and he has consistently been starting the fights. That's a huge deal. Because then all of a sudden, the fight is anchored around this Mars on the front line, and if you're heroic, you're not getting to the Rubik, you're not getting to the Moran anymore. Their supports have a free fight, whereas yours, you're Schofield in the river getting speared. Just not a good setup if you're heroic. Falcons will take that all day.
Gate through the other side of the map. Amar pushed in that top lane aggressively. I guess they're trying to backstab him. No, they're cutting waves. that doesn't even fully die. Huh.
And a smoke from Falcons. Heading south. As Skeeter shoves in mid with the Aegis, and Amar
Radiant's
shows
middle
top,
tower
so
is under attack.
daring Heroic to go on anything. Which Heroic have no interest in doing.
Schofield, he's gonna get caught again here. Not the worst, though. He creates as much time as possible for his team. Oh, yeah, using Wand actually is really big for that foul play upgrade. So you just don't instantly die to any AoE.
Rat mode, I guess.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, they seem pretty committed if they're using Macropyre to
Radiant's
kill
middle
half a
tower
wave.
is
King
under
Jungles
attack.
is going to be
What is
spotted
going
in
on
that
here?
same spot by snaking, but nobody is coming over from Falcons. They don't want to leave their setup in mid. All right, finally, Amar's like, okay, I got it.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Well, you're going to get arrowed, right?
Radiant's middle tower is under
Yeah.
attack.
Nice contribution from Amar.
Oh, mid lane, they go for Skeeter, though. Echo Slam hitting the back line, killing the Rubik already, leaving Skeeter alone.
He is.
They've shocked
in
him
trouble.
down. Schofield, now he's got BKB, so I don't think
Oh, yeah,
Heroic's
then
going to
fine.
try.
Okay, still taking the Aegis off the board. You get the Rubik. Falcons caught a little bit off guard there. Again, they've been showing on multiple lanes a lot.
That's Falcons classic.
It is. It's very aggressive.
Fisher
style.
block trying to save Whisper's life. He has to use the BKB.
Hex now on Amar, by the way.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle
Another
tower
big item
is
that Falcons got to in all of this weird period for Heroic. They weren't able to get the Roshan and exert the pressure they wanted. They are getting close to the Ursa Ags, which could change this game a lot, too. Can't really initiate on him anymore with anything you have on the side of Falcons. I guess you can Hex him.
Very scary two-man gank squad is set up in the bottom lane right now.
Radiant are
Shadow
scanning.
Shaman, Ursa. Now the Ursa shows. So now they're going to mass TP. And Schofield is going to get run down by the Moonlight Shadow smoke move. But hey, better him than the Ursa, right?
Learn from your mistake.
They're going to try and do Tormentor real quick before they leave, which they can do. Shard is kind of whatever, but
I didn't think about it, but they actually have Hex breaks, level 15 talent for the Shaman.
oh, yeah.
It's another way you can just Hex this Mars and take him down quickly. Influential talent. We just haven't seen these things come together for Heroic. They still have a net worth lead here, by the way, which is kind of crazy because it's not felt like it for a very long time since this Hex came out on Amar. The map has been pretty clean for Falcons, but they're not just destroying this game economically, I guess. You're still getting a lot of big items on the side of Heroic. You got a Lincoln's on the mag, Octarine for the Shaker, Ags for the Ursa. 3 big core items, a lot centered around survivability here.
hard to deal with the split that Heroic has been doing because you can't spread out to address it because their single target kill is way too dangerous with the Shadow Shaman.
Mine is truly a pleasant life.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a 5-man smoke out from Heroic here. Which is a mixed bag. You're trying to contest this map, but you're not getting the lanes out if you 5-man smoke, so... Like, you're afraid of showing, but if you don't show, you're not going to get a good move out of it.
Radiant
They'll end up showing mid.
If anybody's going to show, I guess it's got to be this Ursa, thanks to the Aghanim Scepter.
Dire are scanning.
I mean, there's this Hex. I don't know if he gets bursted in the Hex duration, but... It's a little spooky.
I think that's just entirely dependent on the move that Whisper makes. We've seen him. They are really scared of the Ursa being stunned in any way.
I mean, Ags has to change
And so he's just always followed up with a blink
Radiant's
RP.
bottom tower
Well, I'm saying he
is
might
under
still
attack.
fear that because of Scythe, right?
Yep.
Like, you can't just pop that if you're Scythe.
I mean, that is part of the issue for Falcons. You can go in with the Scythe on the Ursa, but to kill him, Skeeter has to jump the Ursa. And then you're opening yourself up to a significantly more punishing RP.
Yeah.
You can go for Hex Spearback, try and isolate him more. That might be the best option, but then you have to have really good positioning here.
Oh, nice
Arrow,
arrow.
man. Invis.
Just a casual read of the situation. Snake King stops the aggression of a Heroic.
I mean, Falcons are not pressured to go into Heroic here. The lanes are going in, especially this bot lane. Like, you can let creeps force someone to show. You really want to be patient. You can also just play for Roshan here. Could respawn in the next 30 seconds. Do not want to throw a fight leading into that objective.
And ice.
Radiant's bottom
Schofield's
tower
so
is under
close to
attack.
the Shadow Blade, considering how integral he is to the strategy of Heroic. It's going to be a significant help, especially as there's a nullifier on Skeeter.
He's bought out. Not a lot of buybacks available for Falcons. Only the Mars has buyback right now. Pretty much fully committed to the fight.
Roshan spawned in the top pit, but it is about to swing over.
Are there even smokes left for Heroic? I don't think there are.
Snake King checking out the pit with an arrow. They hold the bottom pit area much better with their vision.
Yeah, I think they're just waiting because
Yep.
there's no smokes left on the side of Heroic. I don't really know how they make a move, especially in a Poda multi. Like, this is Falcons expecting the move from Heroic, but it's not coming. There's just going to be a free Roshan. Free Arcane Rune.
Free everything.
There's just no way for Heroic to get through this mid lane.
Big man coming.
That should help.
It's a refresher shard. Would be
Dire are
pretty nice
scanning.
for ATF here.
Man. With the Ursa lineup having to give up. I mean, they're pushing into mid right now. Amar gets tagged on damage there for the Slugger and almost got caught as a result of it.
How did he not get hexed there?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Pressure shard on the ground. It'll all get picked up. Still no smoke available for Heroic. Oh, they have one. Wait, they just never popped it for that entire sequence. Got it flown in. So opting to save it for
Dire's
later
middle
time.
tower is under attack.
I mean, maybe it's fine. The problem being it's Falcons, so Aegis doesn't ensure that they ever try and hit high ground, but
Sure, but Skeeter's pretty capped. I mean, like, he's running out of slots here.
Radiant's bottom tower
There he goes. He
is
hits the
under
high ground.
attack.
How do you like that, Austin?
it's fake. That wasn't a real hit.
Smoke from Heroic. Last one. Got to get something with this.
Backing up into them, but Amar, he's going to be the one to break it. Trying to get the initiation, but the BKB has already gone off, and now the Shadow Shaman's on the wrong side of the equation. He will instantly die. Yuma tries to follow him in, but he's left with nothing to hit.
Fight is
His
so
BKB
chaotic.
is just completely
Double
wasted. Now
warp
they're
trap.
Serpent trapped as well. This is just going from bad to worse for Heroic. They do get a knockout punch onto Snake King. Ursa's got his claws onto the Ember Spirit with the help of the Shadow Shaman.
Jeez.
They will be able to kill him, but now the Shadow
RP
Shaman
to
is going to
bail
be
it
a
out.
quick knife back, and now inside the arena, it is just a mosh pit of death and destruction. But who's going to
Oh.
fall? Skeeter! He managed to live through it! Got the quick kill onto the Ursa. Now the damage threat is gone. He was getting low there, too.
A fight of inches as Criddle finished off King Jungles with a stolen skewer and a stolen macro pyre. That was a sick double ward trap in the middle of that fight. Another Enrage came up, but it's still not enough to power through the Aegis, which never got taken, by the way.
Yep.
But the Satanic crits and the cheese on Sumail was pivotal in that fight. It was a solid RP, but the fight at the start was just so chaotic for Heroic. You bled out the supports almost instantly, forced into buybacks. And yeah, Schofield just ended up in the wrong part of that fight, did not see everybody back there. And then this is a point where it's just super awkward. Like, you're running around with 3 cores on Heroic going, what do we do? You get double ward trap. Commit an Echo for the Mirana. Probably wish you had it here. And then you said it's just a mosh pit of death.
RP Arena. Skeeter gets a bit low here, but oh man, look how low he got. Now, granted, they still lose that fight because the Aegis,
yes.
But maybe more people could have gotten out afterwards, or maybe they kill, like Amar, before Skeeter comes back and kills them.
So they do lose 1 melee Rax bottom, but that was it. So not the biggest loss off that fight. They will have everything back up here. 15 seconds for the RP.
They are on the back foot, though, and Falcons is...
Oh, they got
caught at the same time. Schofield,
they didn't chain
the
it.
moment he spotted, he dies. The skewer back from Amar, he managed to get a really good arena as a result of that, because the lack of chain. Gets fissured up, he's still kind of stuck. Echo Slam put to use to try and finally finish him off. Can he blink out? RP, oh, he whiffed! Sumail gets the slight right before, and RP lands on his head.
Straight outplayed by the King. As the ice paths just come raining in from Crit. That might just be the game here, as you have an Ursa buyback, you have a Mag buyback, but you don't have RP. And you're just getting outplayed in these fights. You still have Aegis up on this Phantom Assassin.
Heroic strategizing exactly what they're going to do on these buyback plays. Crit has the Eon Disc. He'll still die. And
really?
Wait. Come on. 3 seconds. 2, 1. Somebody get damage on him. Jeez. Oh, what is this?
That's a nice ice path.
That is a beautiful ice path. Schofield hit him with that chicken fingers. Oh, Skeeter gets away into the nod. No, he doesn't. Analog. Like a bloodhound. He sniffs him out, finds him in the trees. Should be able to get him twice with the ice path and disables at their disposal.
I mean, they finally find this PA, but man, did it cost them. Expensive buybacks. Mag and the Ursa. The streak goes to Analog as well, so you don't really make up that gold on those 2 cores.
Yeah.
I don't know how KJ got there for that ice path, but that was game salvaging. And it gives you a chance here again. I mean, the team fight is still honestly not that bad for Heroic if they can ever get these initiations. Like, if they can start the fight with a skewer like we saw and chain stun the target, which they failed to do, things can start to look up. They have a refresher on this Shaker. That's a lot of stun duration.
Yeah. All about finding the initiation, which they have struggled to because they keep running into Amar most of the time.
Yes, that's the problem. But he can just get Hex broken.
Yeah.
And just chain stun down, right? I feel like that's a play that they've been hesitant to make because someone's probably going to die in doing that. But if the alternative is letting him initiate, not sure what option you really have. Another shard for Heroic. They've gotten every Tormentor this game. But will they win this game?
Increases range and deals additional damage when skewering enemies into trees or cliffs. 1400 range with an extra 225 from Ether Lens.
Yeah, that hurts.
You're going far, kid.
I just don't think Whisper's been too aggressive with these skewer attempts because you are against Rubik here, and that insta-lift is pretty terrifying to just blink into.
Well, if I've learned anything from True Sight, just got to use your BKB beforehand.
That is true. Or buy a bunch of Lincoln Spheres.
Or that. And he's got both.
He almost level 25 as well. There's 2 level 24 cores on the side of Heroic. And there's a 24 and a 23 on the side of Falcon. So getting these level 25s would be quite nice. They're good talents for Heroic. Those Ursa talents are nice. And I mean, this extra RP stun duration for Whisper would be pretty big in this game.
Sure.
Smoke. Never mind. Solo smoke off Ninja Gear for Rubik, but pot of multi. Letting ATF push aggressively here.
That is the advantage Falcons has, right?
Yeah, Marana.
The extra Marana, the extra smoke kind of situation you get out of this.
ATF pushing the hill. Are you not going to hold this ward?
Oh, they give it up.
That's a tough ward to give up for free like that. I mean, you could have called their bluff, right? Falcons weren't even there with everybody. But I think they just are too afraid because they don't have the buybacks. They want something more solid. We'll have another high ground ward, another high ground position. Scan does hit. So Heroic have the information right now. They have Refresher on Whisper, so they actually got to the double Refresher on the stun bros here.
Arrow scouting things out, but Snaky gets a little bit too close into the claws of the Shadow Shaman. Quickly taken out.
No buyback on that Marana. They feel like that's worth an Echo Slam.
And they don't keep going.
Retreat to the hill. Maybe they'll come in again. We can do it to somebody else.
I guess so, but they're going to have to go back to their base. Big waves pushing in.
I mean, there's no way you fight here if you're Falcons. Correct decision is to just chill, wait for the Marana. Maybe just wait for that next Roshan. Has a chance of respawning right now.
Are under attack.
Yeah, Heroic invested a lot into getting that kill.
They have a smoke, though. Yeah, they have one more on KJ. I'm kind of surprised they're not smoking out. You need to get these lanes out, but...
Well, do they have any wards to go with that smoke? Because they drop double wards to get that Marana pick off.
You have 5 on 4 without the Pada multi, and you have a Refresher on the mag and the Shaker. Like, you're not going to have perfect vision every fight. But a 5v4 is something. They get the lanes out. Analog being pinged here.
Yeah, he has the gem, so he doesn't think that they see him, but he was just outside of a ward. Now it's Schofield who's sitting on top of a ward. Shadowblade goes off, but he's underneath the sentry too.
Got spells off? Are they going to take the fight? No, they abandoned him.
Yeah, considering how scared they were of the 4 versus 5 before, I don't think anything is changing.
I mean, basically, there's 2 ways to play that scenario. You're either taking the 5 on 4 because you believe it's a good enough advantage to win a fight into Roshan, despite Falcons having buybacks, or you feel like you can't win that fight anyway, and since you don't have buys, you will lose versus their buybacks advantage.
Yeah.
I think that's a valid argument. It will get you to your 25s here. They have level 25 on all 3 cores. So 9 overpower attacks, 4.3 second RP.
Will
Flip side, we got double Sleight of Fist, and ATF still looking for his 25. It's getting pretty spicy, though, I will say. Ultra late game in the new patch. Does anybody know what's happening?
Yeah, have we seen a 60-minute game in this patch?
I don't think I've seen tier 5 items. Tier 5 neutral items in this patch. You might not see him in this game either, to be honest. Falcon's gonna push. She's on Sumail. Aegis on Skeeter. ATF leading the charge.
Get inside the base. They spot Analog. Amar almost pulled the trigger on that. His blink is back up. He's going to go for it. Scythe goes out. Arena that caught the Shadow Shaman inside too. It is a beautiful setup. They both have buyback. They're going to wait until they see an opportunity here.
Oh, they're on the mag.
Mag is in trouble. Has to use the BKB. Got the RP immediately and all the way into the fountain. This is not good for Skeeter.
You can just re-RP him.
Yep. He's going to pop it again. You are staying here, Skeeter. You are not getting out. Oh, wait. No, he goes into the other slam. Satanic is going off. He hit him with the skewer, but away he goes.
Even the fountain's not enough.
How was the fountain out, not enough to finish off this man underneath a level 25 RP. Yuma chasing after him, but he has to deal with the banner. The creeps are pushing into the throne. Mars after him, hits the refresher, got stunned up a little bit there. Did not get the clean initiation he was hoping for. Now an Arena right in front of the fountain here. Finish off the Jakiro rather casually. Now Whisper up next. Got to stop that skewer. Back into the fountain. They do manage to do so. Yuma fighting for his life out here while the other two watch him from the fountain. But without the RP, without the skewers, they couldn't do it before. And Skeeter will prove that he is better than Heroic, better than their fountain, and will close out wiping them and then their throw.
That buyback for the Magnus was 10 seconds off cooldown. It comes up now, but now is just too late. As one more stolen ice path just for the road. Yeah, there we go. Blow it up on him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. GG.
Rampage to cap things off for Skeeter. We finally see Phantom Assassin win, Avery.
Yeah.